Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I am your host, Andrew, and today we are still in our crafting mood like we were the previous week when we repaired that cartridge belt. Except today, we have a kit that we are going to put together. Some of you might already have an idea of what this is because all the items that we need are already in front of me, but this is a blunderbuss kit. This is a black powder kit from Traditions. No, this is not a sponsored video by Traditions. I did have to pay out of pocket for a device that was meant to exterminate a zombie apocalypse in the 19th century. Basically, all there is to this is just a tiny long arm that shoots a 54 caliber ball, but most of you know the blunderbuss as the poor man shotgun. You could stuff any number of things down the barrel and make it go boom. But the only thing that we're gonna focus on today is putting it all together. So let's tilt this camera down and get to it. All right, like I said at the beginning, everything that we're gonna need is in front of us. We have our stock, we have our barrel, and we have all the little pieces of furniture that are gonna go into this. I did attach the washers already. This was when I initially put it together to make sure it actually went together, so that's good. We have a wood carver here in case we need to take some pieces out because this is just a kit, so it is a one size fits all in the box. This is to make sure that every piece will go into its assigned spot without, much trouble. And then we have a standard head screwdriver to drive those bolts home to make sure nothing falls apart on us. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to get the barrel assembled. And that requires us to take this piece. Let's move this back, so we're going to work with the stock first. And this piece actually goes right in here. And I would like to point out that I actually assembled this without looking at the directions because this is a pretty simple thing to do, believe it or not. I thought this was going to be a lot more daunting than it was. And it actually turned out to be kind of refreshing. It's a little DIY project of building, not a firearm according to the federal government, but a piece of equipment that fires a lead projectile, or if you want to use it as a shotgun, numerous lead projectiles, but it is not a gun. So I fibbed a little bit. Now that we actually have this piece in here, and it's nice and snug, we are actually going to put the trigger in first real quick, and we're going to take this bolt and send it down like that and not remove our trigger. That was the key there, and I failed. But how I do it is I don't initially tighten everything all the way. I will wait till the end or the final stages to make sure everything is fitting, and then I will tighten everything up to make sure that nothing's gonna fly out or we're gonna have issues down the road with the durability of this project. And if you did it right, you should notice that there is a piece of metal missing and an already drilled hole, and it should line up like that, should make a full circle. So the next piece is attaching the barrel, and you want this piece out because that is where you're gonna put your hammer and cock. Teehee. And you're going to take this piece here and actually feed it in right there, like so, and place the barrel down such as this. And if you did tighten it too much, like I currently did, you can loosen it up until the barrel sits flush into your stock. And this is the bolt here that you're going to feed into here. And you are going to make sure that that barrel is not going anywhere. This one's a little more difficult, but this is one that you're going to want to tighten pretty good. Like I said, go through it after you're done to make sure that your barrel doesn't fly off when you trip that hammer. The next portion of all this is the hammer and cock. I guess I don't know why I'm saying that. The reason I'm saying that is I'm thinking of a flintlock. This is just a hammer. The hammer and cock are one piece in all this. You cock the hammer in this variation. A flintlock are two separate components. This is where we are probably going to use our wood carver. It doesn't fit as flush as it should be. Actually brought a little bit of a rubber mallet so we don't damage anything to make sure that everything sits a little bit more flush, but that feels pretty good. We are going to bolt it in here. I'm going to take these two bolts right here and just screw them in to make sure that your hardware that holds your hammer is not going to go anywhere. And you should feel it start tightening up. Everything should look pretty uniform if you do it correctly. Like I said, I put the washers in previous to this video, and obviously if this was going to be a finished product, I would have also stained the wood, but we will get to that a little bit later. Another thing you can do with all the internal pieces, if things aren't fitting snug but you don't need to, get in here and take out big chunks of wood, is use very, very light grain sandpaper. Or what I found works pretty good if you don't need a lot is cardboard actually works as a very fine sandpaper, and that is from my Amish friends when I worked with them. They taught me that instead of actually going all the way over to get sandpaper, you can just use cardboard. Next step is to cock the hammer back, like so, and we are going to put our little nipple in there. Lots of fun words today here on St. Andrew TV. I know, we're having a good old time here. And that is where you're going to put your Remington number 11 cap to spark whatever powder you put down the barrel. And this little bolt here goes into the side where you placed your nipple. By the way, this is going to come apart again because I do have to stain it still, because I'm not going to go out and shoot this thing and film a video with it looking all plain Jane and such. The final portion of our little craft video today is to put our nice, beautiful brass trigger guard in the pre-cut slot. Now, this is a tricky one, and this is the best way I determined to get this thing fully operational, is not to carve out I would say a good 1/4 inch of wood. What we're going to do is actually squeeze this brass, because it is a very malleable metal, like so. Squeeze it together like so and fish it. There we go. I am strong, and I just proved it on camera. And we're going to fish it into that little cut right there. And you should have 2 little screws that you will have to drill in. Those are not pre-cut. So what we're going to do is pretend that we put those in. Like I said, this is going to come apart, and my drill is not charged, but that is where you put these little screws here. And with that being said, you should be able to cock the hammer back. There's half cock, there's full, and it should be able to fire. Just like that. And we're going to tilt this camera up, and I'm going to show you the final product. And there you have it. We have just successfully created a blunderbuss. This was a pretty simple little project we did today. There's not too many moving parts. This was also something that you could find on actual pirate ships. The trumpet style barrel was meant to shoot a lot of things a lot of different ways when you fired it. So it is a pretty cool little thing. Like I said, this is not final for me. I just wanted to show you how to put it together. Like I said, the trigger guard isn't even drilled in yet. And like I said, my drill is not charged, but I will do that when all this is completed. Like I said, I'm going to sand this down a little bit. I'm going to stain it a really nice, pretty color. And then from there, I will probably take this out to the beautiful Arizona desert and make some cardboard targets look like Swiss cheese. I appreciate everyone for getting this far into the video and watching me assemble a blunderbuss, or maybe you got a kit like this and you assembled it with me here today, which I think is pretty cool. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late. We are just north of 25,000 subscribers, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you for hitting that subscribe button. But for those of you who have come across this channel or this video because you like old zombie killers, maybe you have a kit yourself and need a little help or some inspiration when you were building it. Or maybe you found me by accident and you don't think I smell like turnips. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do.